White blood cells are also known as leukocytes, and they make up about 1% of the total number of cells in the blood. They are produced in the bone marrow in a process known as leukopoiesis, and they are destroyed by the spleen or the liver. This process is continuous because as the white blood cells are produced in the bone marrow, the spleen removes old or dead cells. Under normal conditions, a person has about 4,000 to 11,000 white blood cells per microliter of blood. Some of the functions of white blood cells include protection or defending the body against infection, and they do that by either producing antibodies or by ingesting them in a process known as phagocytosis, and they also help fight cancer cells in the body. Unlike red blood cells, white blood cells have nucleus. Though they are few in number, they are very powerful. White blood cells are classified into two, which is the granulocyte and the agranulocyte. The granulocyte contains granules in its cytoplasm, while the agranulocyte does not contain any granules in its cytoplasm. The granulocyte is made up of basophil, eosinophil, and the neutrophil, while the agranulocyte is made up of the lymphocyte and the monocyte. The basophil, eosinophil, and the neutrophil make up what is called the polymorphonuclear cells. And these polymorphonuclear cells, they are a type of white blood cells that is characterized by a lobe, which is a segmented or a divided nucleus, and granules in their cytoplasm. And the neutrophil, eosinophil, and the basophil fit this description. So the neutrophil is the most abundant polymorphonuclear cells in the body. And this classification gives rise to the five types of white blood cells, which is the basophil, the eosinophil, neutrophil, lymphocytes, and monocytes. So here is a fun way to remember them based on their classification, which is from the granulocyte to the agranulocyte, and that is Ben loves me. Neutrophil is the body's first line of defense against an infection. That is, they are the first white blood cells to be released whenever bacteria enters into the body. They actively fight against bacteria and fungi using a process known as phagocytosis. They are the most abundant white blood cells in the body, with a range of 50 to 70 cells. Their nucleus is divided into many lobes, and also high neutrophil is known as neutrophilia, while low neutrophil is known as neutropenia. Lymphocytes. Now let's take a look at the characteristics of lymphocytes. Lymphocytes have a very large dark purple nucleus at its center, and it is surrounded by a jelly-like fluid, which is the cytoplasm, and it is purple in color. Lymphocytes are the second most abundant WBC in the body, with a reference range of 20 to 40%. Lymphocytes are divided into three, which is the B cells or the B lymphocytes, the T cells, and the NK cells. The B cells are also known as memory cells, and they help in the production of antibodies, while the NK cells, which is the natural killer cells, helps to identify and destroy cancerous cells. T lymphocytes are divided into three, which is the helper, the cytotoxic, and the regulatory T lymphocytes or T cells. The helper T cells, they help in the activation of B and cytotoxic lymphocytes in their function. The cytotoxic T lymphocyte helps to fight and identify cancers and cancerous cells, while the regulatory T lymphocyte helps to regulate immune responses. When lymphocytes are high, it is known as lymphocytosis, and when they are low, it is known as lymphocytopenia. So lymphocytes can be high as a result of cancers or chronic inflammation, while they can be low as a result of stress, malnutrition, leukopenia, and as a result of chemotherapy. Next is eosinophil. Eosinophil fights against parasites, and they are very active in allergic reaction. Eosinophil fights parasites by releasing toxic protein from its small sand-like granules, which ends up consuming or destroying these parasites. The amount of eosinophil in our body is very small. They just make up of about 1 to 4% of white blood cells. Eosinophil they are bilobe, and when it is high it is known as eosinophilia, and it's as a result of allergic reaction or parasitic infection. When eosinophil is low it is known as eosinopenia, and it's as a result of either stress, alcohol intoxication, or sepsis. Basophil contains very dark granules in their cytoplasm, and they are one of the rarest type of white blood cells in the body. Basophil releases histamine, which signals other white blood cells to fight against infection. They also play a major role in allergic reaction, and they also help to prevent blood from clotting. Basophil are one of the least type of white blood cells, with just about 0.5 to 1% circulating in the blood. When basophil is high, it's called basophilia, and when it is low, it is called basopenia. So these are a list of conditions which either increases or reduces basophil in the body. Monocytes are the largest white blood cell in the body based on size, and they are kidney shaped. They are also known as the big eater cells because they engulf and digest dead cells, debris, and germs. So they are just like the body's cleanup system, and they have a reference range of 2 to 8%. In the blood, monocytes are found, but when they migrate to tissues to fight against infection, they are changed to macrophages. When monocytes are high, it is known as monocytosis, and when they are low, it is known as monocytopenia. So, conditions that can increase the amounts of monocytes in the body include chronic infection, cancers, and autoimmune diseases. While situations that can bring down the monocytes, they are chemotherapy, burns, and bone marrow disorders such as aplastic anemia.